and welcome once again to your favorite sports show, Sports 365. I'm your host, Presley Ekpebe, and I'm here today with my fellow co-anchors, Biodun and Dami. It's good to have you guys back again.
Yes.
So, Manchester United Arsenal. Well, that's the game that took place over the last weekend, and somehow Arsenal managed to come through with a victory in that one. I just have two questions, and I'll start with you, Biodun.
Okay.
Arsenal did win the game, but what would you say Arsenal needs to allow them take the next step? Because this was the first win away from to one of the big six. Manchester United, they haven't won since 2006.
Yeah.
If they're going to continue this trend, what do you think Arsenal needs to add to that squad, or what do you think they need to do better?
Well, so I would say it's a good win, and they just need to continue the way they've started. They just need to keep that resilience going.
Yes.
I think the defensive resilience. You'd notice Arteta used 3 defenders.
Yes.
So and 2 holding midfielders. So I think they need that steel in the midfield as well as the resilience in defense. You know, they have fantastic strikers in Aubameyang. They've added Lacazette as well. So
Yep.
I think once the defensive structure is solid, I think they can build on that.
Okay, so better defense. I don't even know where to start, Dami. But you know, that game indeed provided a little bit of insight, in my own opinion, on the Manchester United midfield. But if you had to mention 1 or 2 things you think Manchester United needs to do better, what would it be?
I think we just the coach, that's Ole. He needs to inject more dynamism into the squad to be able to bring the best out of these players. I believe Manchester United has a very good squad, but he's really not been able to dig in and bring the best out of those players. And the one main reason is the way they play. He needs to introduce, better tactics. He needs to be able to respond to, an opposition's way of play.
Yes.
Man has over-relied on counterattacks as their main means of winning games,
playing,
right?
yes.
And when you have a team that sits back, soaks in the pressure, they don't attack, they fill in those spaces, those pockets of spaces, you see that Man U's game, is never good. They don't really win those kind of games.
Okay.
So it's something that the coach needs to respond to, be dynamic about the play. When it's not working for you on one particular tactic, switch the play and, you get better results.
Okay, well, we're talking of switching, we're going to switch to the upcoming fixtures across some of the leagues in Europe. That's the Premier League, and hopefully we can take 1 or 2 games, maybe in the La Liga and in Germany. So let's go straight to the biggest game in the Premier League over the next past 2-3 seasons now. I'm talking about Manchester City against Liverpool. I would have said at the Etihad Stadium, but there is no home advantage anymore because there are no fans in the stadium.
Yeah.
What do you expect that game to produce on Sunday?
Yeah, so if we look at, it's going to be a cracker. The reason is because these 2 teams, Liverpool and Manchester City, are turning to kind of the rivals we had in Manchester United and Arsenal back in the day. Because these are the 2 teams that kind of vying for top spot, the Premier League title. Manchester City has been denied for the last season. So Manchester City will be looking to get back on track, get a win, get one over Liverpool. I would say Liverpool is higher in confidence right now. They're on top of the league. They had a very good result against West Ham last time out. Man City also grinded in a win, but considering the position of Liverpool at the top right now, they're higher in confidence. I would expect that both teams will come out attacking. There would likely be a high score game.
Well, who do you predict will win the game?
Man City is at home, right? And looking at the way they're playing now, they're going to get Gabriel Jesus back, which will bolster the squad in the attack.
Yes.
So I would give Man City a win in that game.
Okay, Man City. Yeah. Well, Abiodun, Dami mentioned something about bridging the gap. And if we go by that term, when you look at Everton as a club and when you look at Manchester United, the gap that existed between both clubs by the end of last season, when you look at the table, would you say Everton has been able to breach that gap? Because they're taking on Manchester United as well on the weekend. And what do you expect in terms of the game quality and also what would you say in terms of the gap between both teams? Are they on the same level?
Well, so far this season, I would say Everton. The tables don't lie, so I would say Everton has breached the gap so far this season. But overall, I'll be expecting an exciting game. I'll be expecting probably a draw between Everton and Man U because it's at Old Trafford. The game is at Old Trafford, and Everton has been playing badly for the past 3 games. They lost against Newcastle the last game, and Manchester United as well lost against Arsenal the last game. But I think Manchester United will kind of respond
to that defeat.
Yeah, I think they will. And for Everton, I'm not sure they will be having James
Rodriguez,
because I'm not sure he's going to be playing. I'm thinking that would kind of restrict their creativity in midfield. So with that and Man U looking to bounce back, I think it's going to be like a draw, maybe a 2-2 draw.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I would like to ask our viewers to put a few comments in the comment section. Who do you think would win in both games? Man City against Liverpool or Manchester United against Everton? It'd be nice to know what you guys also think about these fixtures. Let's quickly touch in on La Liga now. The two giants, the two Spanish giants, obviously are playing in common weekend. Valencia are playing Real Madrid, and Barcelona will play Real Betis. I'll leave you with the Barcelona Real Betis fixture. But with you, Biodun, what would you expect? What would you say we can expect? Fans of Real Madrid and of Valencia as well, in terms of is it going to be a cracker of a game or? Yeah.
Well, I don't expect a cracker of a game. I think it's going to be one-sided because Valencia recently lost their main man in midfield, so that's Condobia.
Yes, so he's off to Atletico Madrid now. Yeah.
So and they've not really been playing well, even with him there, right? So I think that effect of losing their main man in midfield would show when they play against Real Madrid at the weekend. Yeah. So I'm going to go for about Madrid winning for like 2 goals, for 2 goals, 2 goals more than
Valencia. Okay, well, Biodun said the main man, Condobia for Valencia. The main man for Barcelona, he hasn't scored in open play this season. Yeah. The main man in Barcelona, the one who wanted to leave, do you think he's given his best right now to Barcelona, or are we witnessing the repercussion of keeping a player against his will? And as we go towards this fixture with Real Betis, what do you think the fans can expect?
Yeah, man. So, like you said, Lionel Messi, the man that would say the squad was built around for the past couple of years, has been instrumental to the successes that Barcelona recorded in the last couple of years,
maybe decades,
even decades, right? Yeah. So now the same man has gone about 877 minutes without scoring a goal in open play, and that's aside the free kicks and the penalty kicks and all that. Now you also want to consider that Lionel Messi is not growing any younger. Personally, I wouldn't expect him to deliver goals and assists like he did 5 or 6 or 7 years ago. So putting the burden on him to kind of lift the club up like he did years ago would kind of be too much of a burden. We need a couple of other players to rise up, take responsibility, own the play, become playmakers, be part of the success. It's a team game, right?
Yes.
Be part of the success. Maybe the next Messi is in the making. We see Ansu Fati doing a lot of, he's beginning to get into the team as well, getting a couple of key goals for the team. So looking at them, they've not really started the season well. They've not won in their last 4 league games, and they've had kind of their worst start to a La Liga season. Since 2002, 2003 season, I think. So they would look to get the season back on track. There's a lot of pressure on Ronald Koeman as well, who
Yeah.
just took over as a coach. So, them playing Real Betis, I believe that they should, being at home, they should be able to grind a result on this one. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I would like to know what the fans of the show think as well, as far as these two fixtures are concerned. So feel free to drop your comments on who you think would probably edge, in terms of the two games, Real Madrid in the fixture and Barcelona as well. And at this point, I would also like to ask that you please don't forget to subscribe, and also don't forget to like this show. If of course, if you're able to subscribe, it means that you will be informed as soon as we have additional content, and we'll always have content for you for sure. We just have two games I would like us to touch base on, before we run out of time here. One in Germany and then one in Italy. And if we go for the one in Germany, there's no other game to review or to preview or whatever, than the game between Haaland and Lewandowski.
Yeah.
The game between Marco Reus against who plays attacking midfield for Goretzka? Is that what he plays
Yeah,
now?
Goretzka.
Because that Bayern Munich team is they're so dynamic, and it's hard to predict. But I'm going to put you on the spot now, Biodun. What do you think? Dortmund against Bayern Munich.
Wow, I'm expecting a cracker. It's going to be a great game of football, and I believe Bayern would just edge it.
Yeah.
Because they have the experience. Yes, Dortmund also has a lot of young players, but I think the experience of Bayern will just make it at the end of the day.
I think that Dortmund might have a few younger players, but I feel that squad has been together for a while now, and I for one would like to see Dortmund rise up to the challenge and maybe put Bayern to the sword, because Hoffenheim did it a few weeks ago, and you would think that Dortmund has a better squad. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, Offenheim did it, and it was just maybe I would say something that probably doesn't usually happen to Bayern Munich, looking at their track record. Yes, Dortmund poses a threat. It will be a tightly contested game. They've also been both of them are kind of on the same points at the table right now. Bayern just seems to be top because they have more goals. And looking at both teams and the way they're set up, they won like 4 games back to back. They're on a winning streak, both teams. So I expect a tightly contested game. Both teams attacking. Both teams with key players that know how to score. I would just say that it will be a lot of. Dortmund would need to contain the attack of Bayern Munich, because Lewandowski is in the form of his life. He's the highest goal scorer. He's at about 10 goals already.
10 goals in the league,
6 games, right? So they would have to contain that attack. I know Bayern could be exposed in defense because of the high line they play, and we have very smart players in Jadon Sancho and Haaland, like you mentioned earlier. So it will be. Both sides will have chances at goal. They will have opportunities to score, but I want to agree with Biodo that Bayern will egg this one. If you look at the head-to-head from the previous season as well, Bayern won home and away, so they have that confidence going into this game. I believe Bayern will win it.
Okay, well, we would also like our fans to let us know, our fans of the Bundesliga, to let us know what to think about this fixture. And one last one before we go today, and I'm going to throw this back to you, Piotr. Atlanta, this is the Serie A now. Atlanta against Inter Milan, and just before we came on air, we spoke about the fact that Atlanta is basically punching above their weight at the moment. What would you expect from this game, and how do you think Inter Milan would go about this game?
Yeah, so Inter Milan has Conte as the coach,
and
we all know how Conte sets up his team. He plays a 3-4-3 formation, and it's more of a defensive formation, and he would definitely set up in a defensive manner against Atalanta, because Atalanta is a free scoring side. I think they scored 98 goals in the past 2 seasons.
Yes.
So I'm expecting an Atalanta win. It's going to be very tight, but I'm just going for an attacking side to win against the defensive side.
Okay, well, I think both teams definitely really need a win on this one. And well, I think we've come to the end of today's show, guys. And as always, it's always fun to have you guys here to break down these fixtures. And I'm gonna be on the lookout for every single game, and I hope that you guys are right. In with your predictions. But I'd like to say thank you to everyone that has watched our videos and obviously watching this one. I would also like to remind us not to forget to hit the like button and to subscribe as well as we bring more content to you. For us here in the studio, we'll say have a lovely weekend.